Welcome to Lengua Franca. We will be working on present tense irregular verbs in this video, which is the first of a three-part series on the topic. Irregular verbs. Why do they freak us out so much? It's because we learned them fairly early on in our courses, and just when we think we see a pattern for verb conjugations, these irregulars throw us off. To make worse, frequently these irregular verbs are very common. So there really is no way to maneuver in the language without them. Yikes! Well, have no fear. We will start down the path of irregular and stem-changing verbs in Spanish with this video. It will take some time to explain, which is why we broke the lessons up into 3 videos. But I promise that it will not be so daunting when we are done. And just as ever, the best way to get these verbs and their peculiarities down is to keep on using them. To start off, let's talk about the groups of verbs that we will encounter when we study irregular verbs. In truth, there are 3 different types, and each one has its own characteristics. The first group, the core topic for this video, are those verbs that only have an irregularity in the yo form. The rest of the conjugation is regular, normal. These are barely funky. In truth, these are the easiest of the group. We have 2 subgroups, those with go in the yo form and others. The second group, which we will talk about in the second video, are the stem change verbs. That means that the last vowel of the stem will change in some way. There are 3 groups of those, E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. These stem changing verbs are a bit funky. There are some oddities in there, but you can still see how the verb conjugates. The third group, and the subject of the last video, are those verbs that are completely irregular. They do not seem to follow any pattern that we have seen before in the so-called regular verbs. There really are only 5 of these in the entirety of the Spanish language: ser, estar, ir, dar, and haber. If you have already studied them, you know that they are truly funky. Nothing at all like their fellow Spanish verbs. They are also highly irregular in almost all verb forms. Also in this group are those verbs that combine funkiness or irregularity. So, the first group is the not so funky, not so scary group of irregular verbs. These verbs only show irregularity in the yo form. We start with the go verbs. They're called this because the irregularity is that they have go in the yo form. We start with the verb hacer, meaning to make or to do. Notice how the yo form has that go, not a normal o ending that the regular verbs have. So you cannot say yo hago. That does not exist in the Spanish language. But in every other way, hacer conjugates like a normal, regular ER verb. Tú haces. Él, ella, usted hace. Nosotros hacemos. Vosotros hacéis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes hacen. There are some other verbs that work like hacer, and the list is not very long. Oír, poner, salir, and traer. In all of these cases, the yo form has the go ending, but the others conjugate like normal ER and IR verbs, respectively. There are 3 more that are considered go verbs: tener, venir, and decir. However, they all have stem-changing elements in the rest of their conjugations, so we will look at them in part 3. The other irregular yo verbs are not entirely irregular. They simply have a slight peculiarity in their yo form. For now, we will learn only one, ver, to see. As you can see, no pun intended, the only peculiarity of yo form is that it has the e. It's still in the conjugation. It is not bo, rather veo. Otherwise, the verb conjugates like a typical ER verb. There are a few other verbs in this group, but not many. Saber, conocer, and haber are all verbs that we will see in later videos. For now, we just need to learn ver. Okay, that's part 1 and a bit of an introduction on irregular verbs in the present tense. Make sure to check out part 2 on stem changing verbs and part 3 on fully irregular verbs. The 3 videos together will help you understand verb conjugations as you start learning Spanish. Please like the video and leave any comments or questions you have. Don't forget to subscribe to Lengua Franca's YouTube channel, which has more videos on Spanish grammar and much more. Oh, and please check out our Patreon page if you are at all interested in supporting our work. Hasta pronto. Adiós.